Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. I said in my last video that since the zpop Dream project is currently on hold due to the virus situation, I wouldn't be able to talk about the zpop Dream project as a whole. So I asked you guys what other zpop Dream videos you would like to see from me, and I saw one comment asking me to talk about things that Zenith has done with the project that I'm not a fan of and what I would do differently. And let me tell you, I am excited for this one, but also a little bit nervous since there's a possibility a staff member has found my channel. But we're not going to talk about that right now. So anyways, before I begin, a quick disclaimer. I know despite Zenith being around for about 7 years now, they are still a small company, so something I may mention that they should change, they might not be able to do so at this current moment. Plus, not to mention, I don't know why they would take advice from me anyways. Also, these are just my thoughts and opinions, so I ask that you please respect my opinions and respect the opinions of each other, and let me know what you would change in a project, as well as things Zenith has done with the project that you thought was a weird move on their part. Now, with that being said, onto the video. So in the comment section of one of my past zpop Dream videos, someone mentioned that the company was allegedly still planning on changing the names for both zboys and zgirls, and I remember them also hinting at a name change and or asking fans for your name suggestions, and in my opinion, they're just better off as keeping the names as is. I would understand if they were going to do what Happy Face Entertainment did for Dreamcatcher, where they rebranded the group, added new members, and changed the name from Minx to Dreamcatcher. So unless Zenith is going to rebrand both groups, there really is no point in my opinion to change the names of both groups now, especially since both groups have now been officially around for a little over a year now and were introduced as zboys and zgirls and also have been promoting as such. I feel as if any names that they were planning on using for both groups should just be used for second generation. So if this is true, I just think it's kind of a strange thing to do so late in the game, and if they were planning on changing the names, that should have been done before the group officially debuted, which goes hand in hand with my next point. So I also saw this mentioned in one of my past zpop Dream videos that allegedly everything that both zboys and zgirls have been doing thus far is just pre-debut, and I'm guessing along with a name change, they will then make their official debut, and it was said to have been mentioned in one of the past zpop Dream Vietnam episodes, and if that turns out to be true, that is just so unnecessary, it's almost painful. I thought the point of the concert in Korea was to be their official debut, and in fact, that's how it was described as even in their official plan for investors. It would be such a weird thing to say that the group has debuted officially to then go in and say, oh wait, never mind, they haven't debuted yet. Now, if they wanted to go down this route, what I would have done is introduce them as a pre-debut group with the names of zboys and zgirls, had them then release a pre-debut single so people can get a feel of what the group is all about before their debut, similar to what groups like LOONA and KARD did. Then use the episodes of zpop School A to Z and also extend the episodes to about 10 episodes for both groups or more so fans can get to know them, similar to the series that they did with Glitzy. Then at the very end of the series and before the concert, or at the very end of the concert, they announce their official group name and move on from there, if they wanted to do the idea of a pre-debut promotions and then to their official debut. Because if they were to allegedly do that now, to me it would make the project look a lot more messy than it already is and make the company look as if they don't know what they're doing and are just throwing random darts at a board and hoping one thing sticks. But anyways, moving on. This is something I would have done from the very beginning, especially if they were planning all along to promote in Korea. I mentioned this example in another video, and I will mention it again in this one. If the only thing, and I mean the only thing, that was keeping them from promoting on Korean music programs was the fact that their songs were not in Korean, I would have immediately had someone translate their songs into Korean in a heartbeat, because those stages could have done wonders for them in terms of trying to gain more attention for the project. And this is another reason why it kind of frustrates me when I hear the CEO say that they don't want to do certain things because they want to stay true to their project, when in reality, things they've listed out such as singing songs in Korean, not wanting to have a Korean member because it'll take attention away from the other members, don't even go against the project concept. Like, what is the point of having them learn Korean besides from daily use while living there, having subtitles and captions in Korean if you're going to do the bare minimum or little to nothing to properly push them into the public eye in Korea? And I've mentioned that busking can do a lot for a group, but there are other ways to try to gain attention and or press for a group that could do a lot more for them. Again, I don't know the full situation as to what happened in Korea, and I would love to know the full extent of what happened besides the statement of them getting denied. Another thing that I would love to see that I feel like could add more depth to the project is if they had their songs in different languages. I remember one of the members bringing up on a radio interview that they did during their debut era, talking about having songs in different languages for their next comeback. So it was really disappointing to see that not happen this time around. So I would like to see that happen in the future. That could make this project a lot more interesting. However, I understand that doing something like that does take time, so this is just something I'd like to see in the possible future, since a lot of other K-pop groups have branched out into making songs in different languages, from Mandarin to, of course, English, and as well as Spanish. So I'd like to see that both groups try to branch out into different languages as well. Like everything else I've mentioned so far, this is another thing that has been bothering me for some time now, that I've noticed from seeing comments in certain videos here and there, and I've also gotten some of these comments in my past 𝕊𝕠𝕉 Dream videos as well. Now, I think the Glitzy app was a good idea, and I still stand by that to this day. However, there are a few things lacking on the app, and a few things that could be better improved in terms of the app's interface. But I'll say that for another day. However, I wish they would have made it a bit easier to access some of their content. For example, the 𝕊𝕠𝕉 Dream audition program and for each country. In order for some people to watch it, they either got lucky with Vietnam having the episodes on YouTube since it was done in partnership with Pop's Music, or someone uploaded screen recorded episodes online. Other than that, you were out of luck if you had no access to the app. Now, I already expressed my feelings about the app not being completely available worldwide off the bat. However, I wish they would have utilized the online website and had some of their content also available on the website so more people could access their content. I wish they would have uploaded some of the videos of the audition process onto their 𝕊𝕠𝕉 channel as well. However, since it was done in partnership with Glitzy, that may not be possible. So I wish they would have used the website to that advantage to host some of the Glitzy videos on there as well. Similar to what 𝕊𝕠𝕉 does. Although 𝕊𝕠𝕉 has an app where people are able to watch a lot of live streams and videos, they also have an online website where people can still watch those exact same videos with no issue. So I wish Zenith would have done the exact same thing with their Glitzy videos, as well as their exclusive Glitzy app videos and content for the online website as well, in case some people don't have access to the app and such. Now, this is something I would like to see in the future from both groups. I noticed some people mentioned how their recent comeback Streets of Gold and 𝕊𝕠𝕉 𝕊𝕠𝕉 had the same similar feel or beat as their debut songs, and honestly I can see where some people are coming from when they say that. I do stand by what I said previously when I mentioned how I felt as if the Singing For You era was a step up from their debut, especially for the boys. However, now I have slight issues with 𝕊𝕠𝕉 𝕊𝕠𝕉, which I'll say that for another time. Moving on. I will say this, I hope that they do not come back with the same bad boy concept and girl next door concept for their next comeback. I'm not saying that as if those concepts are bad, but I would like to see more of their versatility and to see more of what they can do while exploring different concepts. I would like to see the girls take on a concept similar to the boys, but not treading on the lines of too sexy or too dark, a nice in between. And also for the boys, I would like to see the boys do a concept similar to the girls' Streets of Gold, something more carefree, maybe something on the lines of VIXX's Love Equation or JBJ's My Flower, to show a different side of them. Now again, I'm not saying that their current concepts are bad or getting tiresome. In fact, the company can have both groups do the exact same concept throughout their entire career. If they do that, however, I would like to see them expand on the concept and explore different genres under that concept. A good example of this would be Dreamcatcher. Although known for their rock sound and dark and or horror concepts, one thing that allows the group to stand out besides their concept is how, while staying true to their concept, they've been able to explore different genres, from songs such as 4th of July to Purity to Silent Night, There Was No One Left, and so forth. It helps to make sure that there isn't a redundancy to their music, which I hope Zenith will do something similar to that with their future discographies for both groups, so they won't face a similar situation like a group like KARD did in the beginning, when fans felt as if a lot of their songs sounded too similar. Something I would like to see both groups do as well is a proper ballad. Nothing similar or like Our Galaxy, which of course isn't a ballad, but a ballad that can showcase their vocal abilities in both groups and will just add on to the group's range and what they're able to do now. So I say this for last because if you watch my previous videos on the 𝕊𝕠𝕉 Dream project, then you will know how I feel about debuting a second generation so soon. But I'm gonna talk about it again, and I'm sorry if this gets a bit ranty because in all honesty, this is part of the project that by far has me the most irritated. Now again, I'm not against a second generation. I'm all completely here for it. However, reading articles about how the second generation was scheduled to debut in April of 2020, which of course isn't happening due to the virus situation, but the fact that this was the original plan is so frustrating frustrating because you have a group that, may I remind you, has just now reached their 1-year status earlier this year, and you already want to debut another group, when let's not forget you have yet to secure a proper footing with the group you currently have now. And on top of that, the follow through of some of the promotions during the Singing For You era, which again, Thailand and India were your saving graces of that era. Like, would it kill the company to take their time to develop their current group and get them to a stable incline before moving on to another generation that's going to cause for more promotions and more complications within the project? It's like stacking more blocks onto a tower when the foundation isn't stable. You already face difficulty with promoting in Korea due to some barriers, and there are other things that need to be worked through before saying, okay, let's add on to this, especially now that you want to debut and promote within the Japanese market, which, may I remind you, is just as oversaturated as the current K-pop market. It's almost as if they haven't learned anything from their past groups. Some companies bigger than Zenith took years before debuting a new group. Big Hit, for example, after their past groups disbanded, the company solely focused on BTS for years before even introducing or even mentioning TXT. Groups like Luna, who are the only group under their company being their sole focus, MNH Entertainment, which houses Chungha and Bandit, where before Bandit was even mentioned, Chungha was their main focus. What I'm trying to say is that I wish Zenith would just take a step back and allow themselves to expand gradually and take their time and to play it safe before doing a rapid expansion. They can still scout and do auditions for more generations, but focus on what you currently have and allow the others to train and improve their skills for a longer period of time before pushing them out, and to work and stabilize the current generation you have now to get them to a point where you don't have to worry about them in the future, and then you can turn your focus on other groups. I said this once and I'll say it again. I like the idea of the project. Now, it's not anything new or innovative since this has been done before. However, in my opinion, Zenith is not the company I would think that would be able to handle this project. I know the company is still small. However, you would think someone who has had about 30 years of experience in the industry would know and understand that things, especially projects, take time, and some success doesn't always happen overnight. And also, I would think that by now they would understand the importance of patience instead of rushing everything like they're doing now. I've seen comments from fans who support the group grow frustrated with the company due to their inconsistent updates, to members having more of a spotlight than others, and now seeing a second generation debut before the first generation even gets properly promoted. It's one thing to follow the K-pop formula in hopes to gain success. However, when you rush the process, don't expand yourself in terms of what you're releasing that could keep up with the current trends that have gained attention, and apply that to your current standing. The formula isn't going to work the same, especially when there are more differences between your groups and the standard K-pop groups currently promoting, and not to mention making decisions that don't help you stand out in the oversaturated market, besides the fact that you're a pan-Asian group, because using that as a clutch can only go so far when there isn't anything else that stands out. Again, I'm not saying this to bash the project or to bash the group, because I would like to see the group become more successful. I just think as of right now, Zenith needs to do more and personally take the time to actually properly plan out this project instead of throwing random darts at a wall hoping something sticks. And again, I'm not a fan of their past decisions either, and I've already started seeing a standstill within the project besides the current virus situation. But again, these are just some of my thoughts and opinions on the project, and my thoughts on some of the decisions on the project made by Zenith, and I would love to know what you guys think as well. Do you agree or disagree with anything I've mentioned? Do you have any other opinions on the project? Things you would have done differently or would change? Let me know in the comment section below. I mentioned this in my previous video, but due to the project being at a standstill, I won't be making any update videos on the project until further notice, and any new updates will be saved until then. So let me know what other zpop dream videos you would like to see from me. Follow me on Instagram to know when I'm working on a new video. Subscribe to know when I post. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope this video isn't too long. I hope you're doing well and staying safe indoors, and I hope you come back for my next video. Bye!